This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy. Just drop in some details about yourself and see if you're eligible to save money when you bundle your home and auto policies. The process only takes minutes, and it could mean hundreds more in your pocket. Visit Progressive.com after this episode to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
You're listening to the Best of the Morning X, dropping back into the interview from a few moments ago. This is the original 99X.
Rob Harvilla loves the 90s. That's why he's got a very highly rated podcast called 60 Songs That Explain, you guessed it, the 90s.
No, we just talked to Michael Stipe from R.E.M. and, he talked about new music he's putting out. We had a great interview with him. But being from Atlanta, they were, let's face it, R.E.M. were part of our DNA. We played every single song from R.E.M., but now that there seems to be an R.E.M. resurgence, especially with, songs in The Bear on Hulu and all the, the reissues and everything else. It sounds like an exciting time for R.E.M.
Yeah, the prestige TV aspect of it is interesting. I don't like scary things, and so that show Yellowjackets
very
on
scary.
Showtime, where the plane crash, isn't that like very, very 90s based?
Oh my gosh, it's like Offspring, Collective Soul. It's incredible.
Yeah, but The Bear, we watched The Bear. The Bear's not too scary for me. And yeah, like the R.E.M., I love Strange Currencies. I love that R.E.M. song very specific, so I was thrilled to hear that. All the Wilco. It is true that, first, prestige TV is one way that all these songs are coming back. But I remember 5-10 years ago a concern that R.E.M.'s influence, wasn't felt by today's teenagers because, they weren't doing, Coachella reunions, for example. They were not as prominent on streaming. I feel like we go through phases where there's anxiety that bands that were huge in the 90s aren't respected the way they should be now, and then there is this resurgence. Blink 182 goes in and out of style, but you're in the epicenter, and I'm thrilled to hear if it feels like R.E.M. is getting the respect they deserve, because they're part of my DNA too. At Ohio, I still claim them spiritually partially for myself, despite not being anywhere near Georgia.
What's interesting though about that, Rob, we're talking to Rob Harvilla, who has a podcast that you should absolutely seek out. And is it going to change names, by the way? You're going to go up to 120? It's 60 songs that explain the 90s, but then you went to 90, and I guess you're going to stop at 120?
We are actually going to stop at 120, and I am very relieved that when we went from 60 to 90, we decided not to change the name, because then when we would have had to change the name again, and that would have been triply obnoxious. It's a great bit, I think, just to have an erroneously titled podcast. It's awesome.
What I was going to say about The Bear, you mentioned R.E.M., Wilco. What's funny is the people producing these shows who are in their 40s or 50s, it's the bands they love who are making it to be the soundtrack, which is therefore forming a whole new generation.
Yep.
It's an interesting hopscotch of a way to get music into someone's life in a different way.
Yeah, I think about Olivia Rodrigo, right? And so that's someone who's much younger. Sometimes it is professional obligation. But
right, I got you.
Yeah.
But she's going, she's much younger. She's a pop star in the present day. But she's, I'm trying to think of the song she's covered. It has to be Whole. Avril Lavigne, which is just barely not 90s. Olivia Rodrigo strikes me as one of the people who's sort of bringing the 90s forward into the 2020s, and sort of alerting the kids now as to how cool this music is, or at least used to be. But you're absolutely right that that's the cycle. There's 40, 50-year-olds out here, and they're teaching us about R.E.M. again.
Now, Rob, apparently you're releasing a companion book, Songs That Explain the 90s, in November. So how's that going to be different from the podcast?
It is. My podcasts are scripted, right? They're scripted down to the word. And the total word count of those scripts now is 500,000 words plus. And so the book will not consist just of those scripts verbatim, because that would be way too large. So I just tried to take the songs that I've done so far and a bunch that I haven't done yet, and try to think about how to sort of group them in an interesting way. Sellouts were a big deal in the 90s, obviously, right? You think about bands like Metallica or Green Day. when they got popular, they were accused of selling out. But that also could be said of like Coolio, when he crossed over from rap music to pop, when Gangsta's Paradise or Fantastic Voyage got big, like suddenly he's in he's in front of a whole new audience. He's in the suburbs. Like, does he feel like a sellout? Does he struggle with that? Like, just trying to think of interesting ways to take these songs that I've already talked about at length as individual songs and how to group them together, right? And just ways that they can bounce off each other, in hopefully interesting ways. Like, in terms of like huge emotional triggers for me, like I love Tom Petty, I love R.E.M, but I also love Janet Jackson. Right? And I have very specific personal memories tied to their music. And how can I sort of bring those together? So it's a combination of what I've been doing now for 2 years on the podcast, but I think put together in a new way with a lot of new material and just trying to find a fresh way to look at these things.
Excellent.
I'm really, really excited.
All right, good luck. That comes out the 14th. I wish you the best. It was fun. We should have you on often whenever something warrants, So we love to talk music.
Yeah, it'd be a blast.
Next fire drill you guys have, call me up.
You're in.
I will jack in remotely to the fire drill. It was awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Rob
Rob.
Harvilla, seek out his podcast, 60 Songs That Explain the 90s.
Thanks so much.
The Morning X with Barnes and Leslie. 99X.
November is heating up for U.S. soccer.
The United States need to be a little more nasty.
Big international friendlies for the men.
Callum, that was nasty.
And a Black Friday friendly for the women.
Expectations have always been here for this team. We understand that.
Listen anywhere on the go with the Westwood One Sports app. And for behind-the-scenes stories, catch the U.S. Soccer Podcast.
Boy, do we have an episode for you.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.